Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So everything against what we were looking at yesterday. So data came out bad, and then obviously that bad means sell. Lots of people climbed in and sold, and lots of people got taken out, and there are people that are stuck here as well, assuming that it's going to continue, so not taking the stop. And best bit of advice I can give you, having been there many times, take the stop. It's way less painful than when you have to get out or wipe your account out or get out at a position which really puts the dent in your finances. So if you have a stop loss in place, stick to it. Don't deviate. And if you don't have a stop loss in place, get one in place because it will protect you with a lot of pain. So if you look at what happened yesterday, I mean, we were consolidating, and then we started moving. We were moving very quickly, but the buyers came in at a chronic rate of knots. And look at the diversions here. So you can see the lows there, and look at the oscillator. We've got a crossover now, and we're pointing to the upside. I suspect we are probably heading for that area there at the moment, so that's 37.22. Let's call it, well, let's round that down, so it's 37.21 is what we're looking for. Ultimately, for me to start getting a lot more bullish at the moment, is going to be a move above 38.05. But with this move here, I'll explain it in the lower time frames. This is not a coincidence. There's something that is brewing. There's people that know stuff that we don't know. That's basically what it boils down to. And you can see it quite clearly on the DAX. If you want to see that, just watch the DAX video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But for me at the moment, trend is still down, granted. That is the swing high we need to get through. But at the moment, this is not a confusion. So big move down. What would happen, I'll show you on the lower times where people got in, but this move up, this is calculated. This is not a confusion type thing. This is something which people know. And we are heading into earnings season. So I just want to put one more level in here, which is going to make sense. So you can see I'm just picking it up off these two swing lows here. You can see there's the rejection of that. So that's kind of where we've broken out of this consolidation. And if I do that, that was our consolidation area. We broke the downside, probably also the targets of this range, which is 737 to the tail. Okay, so the breakout was hit properly, and then fake out, well, not even a fake out because target was hit, and then back into the range and moving back. So that's why I say this is your next level at the moment. Okay, so let's just drop down to start with the 15 minutes. It's going to be easier to explain what happens. So first things first, right? So we got these pin bars here, which was an early indication that the data was going to be bad and we were going to be selling. But it's not something that you want to trade. You definitely don't want to jump in with a potential trade at the time of news. Okay, because it's very difficult to do. That was the pin bar, then the news came out and it pretty much dropped quickly. Within the first minute, it dropped very, very far off. You saw a bit of a flag, bit of a bias coming up, and then I still said to you, there was a level roughly, I forget what that level was, I think it was around 35.50. There's a level there you need to pay attention to. If you we had a pin bar off it, I think it's this pin bar here. Yep, that's the pin bar we had off there. So the level was in this area, 35.55 area, and I said to you, entry would have been below the pin bar, which is what should have happened. But it didn't. And I also said to you, watch out for this area here at 35.70 because we could stretch for that. And I have to just get down to 5 minutes to show you the logic here. So there's our big move down. Now, you don't want to jump in short down here, but you really got a bias that it is short. So we had a pin bar in this area here. Okay, so the break would have been on the break of this with a stop above that. That failed. Then this was the next level here. Then we got a nice stretch for it. So okay, we're waiting for an inside bar, or we're waiting for some kind of signal to tell us it's down. That didn't materialize. We then gapped up, And at that point, I think I said to you, okay, that's it, scrap that short idea. And the pure reason is when you gap up like that, you know it's, with a move like it's been, it's going to be a breakaway gap. And that's what it was. It was a breakaway gap. Hit the level up here, then just kind of went sideways. But this is sort of got to a situation where you can see the oscillators have crossed over now. We are in an uptrend on the 5 minutes. If I come to 15 minutes, we are in an uptrend. I prefer the oscillators easing off a little bit. But everything is indicating here that we are going to continue. This gap is still a breakaway gap. It is there, so I mean it will be a magnet sometime, but it doesn't necessarily need to be today. The other thing that you need to bear in mind from a macro perspective, and I said this early in the week at the Monday when we looked at this weekly bar from last week, that's an inverse hammer engulf, also a piercing pattern as well. And these inverse hammers, when they're like this, are often signals that sort of bullish signals. It needs to break above the high there for it to be confirmed, but it is often a situation, and you don't often see them. And let's just see if there's something on the weekly. I don't think there will be, not that I can remember one, but if we just drop down to the hour, possibly we will see one here. Trust me, it's price action you need to pay attention to. It's not one of the key ones that I pay attention to, because you know, a pin bar is the one that is more. You can see whenever you get pin bars, it's a little bit more comforting to know that it's going to happen. There's one there, so you can see we've got this sellers coming off. It's a green bar, but you think, oh well, it's still going to continue. 3 green bars in a row, it's going to continue. Then you get the engulfing bar and then the move down. So it often happens. There's a red bar, that's pretty much straightforward, but you get what I'm saying. Pay close attention to those kind of things. It's not, you don't need to read the encyclopedia on price action, but when you see something that looks like you should be continuing and it's got tails, just watch where your levels are. That's why I always buy off structure and sell off structure, because it just saves me a lot of pain. Anyway, enough rambling now. So for today we are looking at, there's one more level here. If we can get a pullback into the zone of 36.57 and 36.44, I'm a buyer, and I'm aiming for this area here. So I'm aiming for 37.21 at the moment. If that fails, I'm not too sure that I want to be jumping in long at the moment. I definitely want to see price come back onto structure, but you can see there is 15-minute structure here. So there was a flag break here. See, there's my flag. So that actually ties up to this area here as well. So 36.60, 36, between 36.60 and 36.55 is kind of what you want to be looking at. 36.44 at the worst case scenario, that would be the opportunity to buy. But I strongly suspect that there is something brewing here that we are totally unaware of. And if you look at the daily, there's your engulfing bar for the first leg of the double bottom. Look at the diversions here, and here you have this massive engulfing bar, which has basically taken out 3 days of losses, and we sort of halfway up the 4th day of losses. So any break above this is going to validate this double bottom. And again, look to the left, there's something in this area which is attracting the bulls. Anyway guys, that's kind of my view today. Looking at the daily, I think we have a fairly strong move that is brewing. Confirmation is only up here, granted. We are in a downtrend, so we should be trading with a downtrend. But this is just starting to smell like a bottom to me. So when that happens, just be cautious. It's short until it's not. And I think at the moment, looking at the 1 hour, it's starting to be not. Hope it all makes sense. And stick to your stop losses, guys. Don't jump in without a stop loss. Risk management is probably the most important aspect of making money in this market. Anyway, cheers for now. Enjoy your weekend, and we will catch up with you on Monday morning. Cheers.